High tech.
Time to do these.
Pose. Make a match. Cover up. Steer clear. Light. Observe. Reaction.
Choose well.
Flip.
Strike fast.
Align. So good. Love it. It is on. Exit.
You bet.
Attract.
Oh yeah.
Guide.
Right on. No sweat. High velocity.
Clear path.
I'm ready.
Wind up.
Great.
Have to. Watch out.
Right on. Now we're talking. Go. Hey. Hey.
Grab.
Go. Hey.
Assemble.
Go. Hey. Go. Hey. Go. Yeah. I like it. Party time. Go. 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 Hey. Go. Hey. Go. 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 No match for me.
Cover up.
Take that. Science.
Steer clear. Light. Look. Bye-bye. Make a match. Transport. Exit. Attract.
Wah wah.
Align. Positive results.
Activated.
Find a signal. Observe.
Womp womp.
Make a match.
Why not?
Light 3.
Yes. Piece of cake.
Let's go. Steer clear.
Womp womp.
Here. Ready as ever. Demolish. So proud. Attract all. Simple. So ready. Find a signal. Flip.
Heart. Star. Clover.
Exit. Alarm. Clear the way. Good. Watch out. Clear screen.
Go time.
Lined up.
Yeah. Sing it. A challenge.
Grab. Assemble.
Yes. I approve. I found an opportunity. I see.
Make a match.
You bet.
Steer clear.
Nailed it. Moving.
Cover up. My turn. Look. Bye-bye. Happy to. Light 3. Oh my. No worries.
Shake it up.
Find a signal.
Indeed. Done. Of course.
Demolish.
I see. It's me.
Observe.
Ooh.
Reaction.
Easy peasy. Come on.
Flip.
Diamond.
Go. Hey.
Heart. Star. Oh!
Attract all. Leave it to me. Alarm. Clear screen.
Womp womp.
Lined up.
Womp womp.
Dodge. Adjust. Grab.
Womp womp.
Observe. Reaction go. Alarm.
Womp womp.